be provided by South Cleveland Church of God student pastor Jake Moats. Pledge of Allegiance by Vice Chairman Bill Winters. Please stand.
Let us pray. Lord, thank you today for who you are, first and foremost, God. We thank you for these men and women who are leading our community, who are leading in our county, God, to make it the best we can be. Lord, I pray that you would first and foremost continue to bless them and keep them as they make decisions to take this community where it needs to go. Lord, I pray for today's meeting. I pray for this agenda, God, that you would have your anointing all over. God, I pray that you would guide conversations, that you would guide decisions, that you would guide agendas, Lord, that you would be in this room today. God, we thank you for all that you are to us. But Lord, may we recognize the need for you to be today Emmanuel, God with us. Lord, may you be with us in these conversations. May you be with us in these meetings. May you be with us in our homes, in our jobs, in our schools, and in everything we do. Lord, we need you in a multitude of ways. But God, most importantly, may we recognize that we need you to be with us today. We love you and we praise you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Stand, salute, pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. We'll now go to the report from the county mayor. Mayor Davis, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good afternoon, everyone. Trust everyone had a good 4th of July holiday period. Lots been going on during that time. I'll have a little report here in a minute, but first I'd like to call on Doug with the Industrial Development Board who is with us today to ask you to put something on the agenda for next week concerning a pilot agreement for Lindy. Doug?
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate the opportunity to be with you. What you have before you today, and I'd ask politely that you'd place on the agenda for next week's voting session, is a resolution that would authorize the Industrial Development Board to enter into a payment in lieu of tax agreement with Lindy Incorporated. As you know, in 2023, Lindy committed to us the development of a $70 million project known as an air separation unit. This unit is being constructed on approximately 10 acres at exit 33 at the Charleston exit, and it is to produce, essentially to draw air and to separate that out into its basic elements to produce liquid oxygen that would then be shipped to 9 TVA power plants to reoxygenate waters after they have used those waters for hydroelectric production. That dissipates the oxygen in the water, and this enables them to maintain healthy habitat for fish and aquatic life. In addition to that, they'll create argon gas, which is a critical element in the process for Amero, our titanium and niobium powders defense contractor. And they'll also be separating out and producing nitrogen that will then be shipped to the Wacker plant for their production processes. The project, as I said, is a $70 million investment. There will be 18 new full-time jobs associated with this operation at an average wage of $85,000 per employee. And the Industrial Development Board is prepared to enter into a 5-year personal property only pilot that would give them a 37.5% discount on their normal taxes for that period. That will result in them receiving over 5 years. They would receive roughly $205,493 in savings. During that same period, you would earn $342,489 on the personal property portion only. You'd also get the advantage of about $112,984 a year in real property taxes in addition to that. So you would have a total of about $147,888 in property tax payments to you annually after the discount. The payroll would be a direct annual payroll of 1.5 million. Our economic modeling suggests that this 18 positions would create another 44 indirect positions in the community over the first 5 years of operations. That would result in an additional $2 million of payroll for a total of $3.5 million in annual payroll directly attributable to this project's operation. That would generate $1,112,000 a year in retail sales impact. So that translates into roughly $30,000 a year of sales tax revenue to the city and the county in addition to property taxes. The jobs themselves should result in another $28,000 of residential property tax from the new residents and expanded wage earnings. That's all I have to report on those impacts.
Any questions for Doug?
Go ahead, sir.
That's a 5-year contract, right?
Yes, that's a 5-year pilot agreement for personal property classifications only.
Thank
So
you.
real property is taxed at normal tax rates. And that is based on your current tax rates, your new tax rates you've established.
Any other questions? Lori, go ahead and put it on the agenda. I'm sorry. Okay, you put it.
Okay, thank you, Doug. We appreciate it. It'll be on the agenda next Monday. You've probably already heard, but there was a tragic accident on the interstate a little while ago. Both directions were blocked. I'm trying to find out if they've got it open back up. Does anybody know? But there were deaths, and there was some flown to Erlanger. So, very bad accident. Keep those people involved, and of course our emergency services in your prayers, please. I passed around a picture just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about here, but as you probably know, one of the most popular things that we do in Bradley County, in my opinion, is our recycling program. If you ever want to find a crowd of people, go by the recycling center, either one of them on the day they're open in the afternoon, and usually traffic is backed up. And I know I hear from people if we ever have to close, and we have to from time to time, people really get upset when they show up and they're not open. I said all that to say this. We did recently receive a grant for a couple of roll-offs, and that may sound like something stupid. You got a grant for roll-offs, but these roll-offs aren't cheap. A little over $20,000 for the 2 roll-offs, and we will get reimbursed most of that, about $13,000, once they do the inspection. So a couple of new roll-offs we needed very badly. One of ours, the bottom had rusted out of it, and of course we're working on fixing it also. Talking to Charleston about adding a location for recycling, but we've got to come up with some more roll-offs for that to work out. But that would be good to have another location on the north end. But anyway, 2 new roll-offs arrived last week, and they are in operation, just waiting on the inspection and the reimbursement to come from the state. Also, we recently, during the last couple of weeks, received a computer training grant from the Economic Community Development. This is a $95,000 grant. You may have heard about it. It goes to the Senior Center for training for senior citizens, and also provides laptops to those citizens. About 40 citizens will be able to go through this training and be provided laptops with this grant. It'll be taken care of by the Senior Center. We signed a contract with Columns Plumbing to do the sewer upgrades at the Juvenile Center. That contract was signed last week, and I think they're going to begin sometime probably around the 1st of August. And we're in the process of bidding a new heat and air unit for that Juvenile Center too. So, you know, we promised to do some of the things that was on their very long list of wants out there, and the sewer was their number 1, heat and air unit was number 2. And rails that had been damaged for the going down the Bankway, is already been PO'd also with the new budget. So those two things are in the works. We signed a contract with Case Developments to do the parking lot at Menace Road. Now, we're not talking about the addition, not the new building parking lot, but the parking lot that we were doing ourselves over to the left of that fire building. We've signed the contract to do that. However, I need to get some direction from you all on whether you want to pursue eliminating the remaining trees and bank. You asked me to get estimates. That's been tough. I got one estimate from one contractor, $100,000 without a retaining wall, $145,000 with it. We strongly suggest a retaining wall. So basically $145,000. The other one estimate is roughly the same, but they're not concrete on their estimate yet because they're still trying to figure out what they can do with the additional dirt. Hauling of the dirt could affect the estimate tremendously. But you're talking about anywhere from $100,000 to $150,000 for this. And I mention that to say this. First of all, clarify, I have not asked for this additional funding or this additional project, neither has the fire department. But some of you are dead set on doing it. So once you dedicate where it's to be paid from and that you want to do it, then we would need to go through a bid process. I can't move forward with the concreting of the parking lot until I have your direction on this particular project because it will affect it. That parking lot butts up to this bank, and we wouldn't want to do that until we had this other done. So be thinking about it. 100 to 150,000 is roughly your estimate. We won't know exactly until we do bid it, but it'll be somewhere in that ballpark. And where do you wish to pay for it from? And then we will start the bid process on that, and we'll put this other contract of the concreting the parking lot on hold if you decide to move forward with that. So just let me know the direction on that. Having said all that, is there any questions anyone might have for me? Yes, sir, Tommy.
How much is the concrete work gonna cost? Have you got a bid on it yet?
Yeah, we signed a contract on that. It was bid, and does anybody remember the amount? I don't remember offhand.
Seems like I remember us talking, but I don't remember the
We had
amount.
90,000, something like
Okay.
that, to concrete the we built a parking lot and gravelled it. Now this is to concrete it. Concrete to hold up fire trucks, hopefully. It was something like that. I'm not sure, but yeah, that was bid and that was the contract on it.
That money's already been allocated and you
Yes.
got it, all right, okay.
Any other questions? Yes, sir.
The contract you was talking about for the one with the dirt, if they had a place to put the dirt,
Uh-huh.
how much was it?
They originally said it'll be around 90,000 plus whatever it costs us to haul the dirt. And as of this morning, they still didn't have that answer for us. So the other one was 100, so roughly 100 if you don't do a retaining wall. But the other one said you need to do a retaining wall, and it's 145. The first one didn't mention the retaining wall. So that's why I say it's anywhere from 100 to 145 until we decide to bid it. And whether we include or don't include the retaining wall, we won't know for sure exactly, but that's a ballpark number.
Commissioner Alford.
Couple of questions, Mayor. On your recycling roll-offs, we don't have a place to do electronic roll-off like we used to?
No, sir.
Is anyone looking into that, or anybody is?
Right now, the signs say no electronics. That was a popular thing, but when we lost our contract on the recycler for that, we haven't found a reliable one yet to take it on. So right now, we're still not accepting electronics.
The other question on that property we're talking about behind the fire station, the guys you dealt with, are they talking about bringing that all the way down, or just leveling it at the top, taking the trees out and just leveling it at the top?
Well, the discussion that I got from the committee was you wanted to have more parking. So based on that, I assume it would be brought down level. That's what I asked for, is bring that bank take the trees out, bring the bank down, level to what's there now, or what will be there once we get through with all of that.
Yeah.
If that answers your question, because that, and if with what the one is saying, if you don't put the retaining wall, you're not gonna gain much parking. You know, it's gonna slope down
I
and
think
take
when
it
we
away.
were talking about it, we weren't actually looking at parking so much as an extra place to maybe one day build a building up there to house, because I know probably good chance that we're gonna need more space once we get the new station built. So that's where I was coming from. I didn't know that we were gonna level it. I was thinking we were just gonna level the top part and then,
Well, if you all approve doing it, you can specify that and we'll bid it that way, it level it down. If you wanna leave a step up, that would be less
Yeah.
dirt, that will affect the bids a
Yeah.
little bit, be less dirt to haul off. The property line is about another, gosh, from memory, 10 or 15 feet. That's what you're gaining, and it would be enough for a small building. Um, and I don't mean to be argumentative on that subject. We've got 5 acres at Waterville. We need another building for something, or we need a parking lot for something. We've got the acreage down there, as opposed to spending this kind of money on this particular project up here. That's why it's not been requested from anyone. We know it, we can, in hindsight, we might should have even put the training building down there. I left it up to the fire department and they chose this location, but we've got flat land down there that you guys won't put an SPCA on. So we've got parking area and we could put buildings doesn't have to be leveled. That's the only reason that I've not been on the same page with you on this, but of course I'll do whatever your direction is when you vote on it. But yeah, we could, if you specified, yeah, we want to do it, we want to spend 100,000 or whatever, and leave a step up, that would help somewhat with the bid. That'd be up to you.
Chairman, maybe, we could put that before land committee and let them reexamine that and maybe come back with a recommendation at the 2 sites that we're talking about.
I think that would be appropriate. Let's do that, Laura. Schedule it for Building and Land Committee.
I'd like to ask for them to meet soon so that they can come back with a recommendation so we know what to do on the other bid. Because they don't want to move forward until we get this one done.
Right.
There was another question over here, I believe.
Commissioner Hughes.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. Actually, Louis done exactly what I was going to do. The other, though, is I think there's a few, because I kind of understood it the same way the mayor did. I think that also during that meeting, they need to make a clarification on what they're actually wanting done once it's cleared, or how they need it lowered, or what have you.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that's all I have.
Anyone else?
And the only thing I'm saying there is, that's why we've not requested this project, because we know we've got that down there. It's starting to get grown up somewhat, but there's plenty of space down there without having to level it and so forth. And right now, of course, they've got more work to do out there now. If you go out there today, you'll start asking questions again. The city still has more dirt work to do. They've got to bring that bank back a little farther, and it's got to be straight. They may even have to take some more trees out when they do that. But the original plan was to leave a bank back there like it is right now behind the fire station, and it'll be that same way all the way across. And trucks would be able to go in and turn into the bays and so forth. But there is another 10 or 15 feet of wasted space, you might say, that's not. But when you get back to that property line, you're going to have a bank. You know what I'm saying? If you take it down, wherever you stop at, you're going to have a bank. And if you go corner to corner, which is my understanding of what you want, you definitely will have a wall issue on the left, looking at it on the left end, because if you're not, they tell me that you'll be putting water on a neighbor if you don't do a lot of work there. So it's just got a lot of issues, guys. Whenever the committee meets again, I just ask you to be objective about it. Is this something we really want to pursue, or with this other one? We're not asking for either one now, but if a year now or 2 years from now we want to do something additional, I think that down there would be a lot more doable, a lot less expensive to do for sure.
Yes, sir.
The Waterville side, are you referring to where they got their training equipment now, or the 5 acres that we didn't do nothing with back several months ago?
The 5 acres you didn't do anything with several months ago. Keep in mind, that is all ours and it is flat usable property. That's all I'm saying, that we could, if we had a need a year or two from now, it's not that we didn't think ahead, we have property for that. And in my opinion, it's much more workable, doable property. Location's not bad. Like I said, in hindsight, kind of wish we'd put the training thing down there, but a lot of people think that's too far away. I don't necessarily on a 5-lane highway think it's that far away either, but anyway, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's the 5. They have some property there now where they put equipment from time to time or store stuff, but it could be a lot more.
So the property that you're talking about now is flat, and we could build on it without any problems.
Well, if you go back to the zoning change days, there's some that argued that you couldn't, but there was also some that argued you could build on it then, so
That's
But
what the point I'm getting
I'm
to.
of the
Are we gonna
opinion
run
you
in- Are we
can.
gonna run into the same problem if we try to build something on it, or if not? I guess that's where I'm coming from.
They were told it was buildable and they were willing to invest $1 million in the project, so I have to assume it's buildable.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Go ahead, Mayor.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. We'll now move along to the reports from committees and our districts. We'll start on our right with Commissioner Beatty, please.
Out on the Highway 60, they've got a lot of the barrels removed, and it's looking a lot better out there. And I got one other thing to bring up. On SPCA, I had a good friend of mine. His daughter called him about taking 6 kittens out there, and that was Wednesday or Thursday, and said bring them Saturday after 12. She talked to the director. When she got out there, they would not take them. Plus, he sent in a big check with them. So he brought the check back. They brought the kittens back in the check because the people out there, the director wasn't there, said that them people out there said we can't take them. Well, I guess the director didn't tell them or whatever, you know. So, sound like me, they might have plenty of money anyway. Their budget might have ought to been cut when we done the budget. Or their contract. How many more years they got left on the contract?
A year, I believe.
A year.
I believe that's right.
So they still got a lot of problems. This is just the latest problem I've heard from people. But I just don't know we should ever renew their contract. I was all for it a few years ago. They had problems, but they was working them out, but they still got problems. They still have problems all the time. We might ought to go some other direction when the contract's due. That's my opinion. Thank you.
Commissioner Hughes, please.
Mr. Chairman, I have nothing today.
Commissioner Alford.
Yes, a couple of things, Chairman. The sheriff has requested that we, in a detailed letter found on page 3 of your packet, to award the duty handgun to Lieutenant Cheryl Holloway upon her retirement on August 21, 25. Place this request on the July 21, 25 voting session agenda, please.
Is that the same one that's on agenda item A?
It is.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else?
No. Other than that, second district's doing well, thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Collins, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We're doing well on the 3rd. Nothing to report.
Commissioner Winters.
60 Highway is doing very well. The orange world has gone away, and now we got lines in the middle of the road, and we have to get used to the speed limits that are there. We have to get used to going across 5 layers of highway. So please, let's look at slowing down. It's 35-mile-an-hour speed limit, and I'm speaking to myself at the same time I'm saying to you all, it could be a racetrack, and it could be a point of some real problems. You envision 5, 6 lanes, and you envision coming out of a subdivision, many of us over 70 years of age, some much older than that, having to go across 2 lanes, another lane, to then get into 2 lanes to go the direction they want to go. So let's be cautious and let's look out for each other. The orange barrels are gone, the lines are there now, and school will be starting. And when school starts, they've been very gracious on those lines. They've got a line where you can get off to actually take your child into the school, drive through there. That's nice. But there's a time when school begins, and we're getting close to that we'll have to start looking at going very cautiously through that, particularly school times, but also times when we're trying to rush to and from places. And all of us are trying to look for ways to get through town. So 60 Highway is now lined. They said it would be by the fall of 2025. It's fall of 2025. So they've done their part. Now it's up to us to keep it a safe place. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Commissioner Gilbert, please.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to invite everybody to attend the LEAP graduation 2025 on Friday, July the 18th at 10:30 a.m. at the Betsy Vines Theater at Cleveland High School. The LEAP Academy and Juvenile Court have worked hard with the candidates, and I hope you all will attend and to congratulate them on the completion of the academy. And also, I'd like to welcome a friend of mine from Africa, Bidwell Mindy. He's a pastor in Africa, and I've been knowing Bidwell for probably 15, 20 years. And I just want to thank you for coming with me and seeing what our county operates like. And the Radio Club, I want to thank them for inviting us out on Johnson Boulevard. A lot of folks don't know the Radio Club's out there. And what they do, they've got ham radios and CB radios, and they can actually communicate. If all the power went down, they could still communicate because they have generators that amp up these radios, and they was talking to Australia and California and everywhere. It was pretty amazing the setup they have. So if y'all ever get a chance to go by and visit them, it's pretty neat to see. And man, this is a hard one. Talking about the SPCA. Our contract on the SPCA says that we can actually cancel a contract. And if we don't have no money to do dirt work and other stuff, and we're paying the SPCA money we don't know where it's going to or what it's doing. And they're refusing money, as Mr. Beatty said. And I don't know how to go about doing this. And Commissioner, you're worried about them having a place to keep the animals, and some of the taxpayers don't want to pay them the money. Looks like we could put in a motion to cancel the contract, but go ahead and give them a place to stay. And I'd like to talk to our lawyer and see if that's possible for us to do, and how we go about doing that. And then we'll come back and vote on it, or whatever.
We have to remember that if we were to cancel the contract, which is a provision within the existing contract, we have to provide service to the Bradley County citizens. And I don't think there's any money in the budget to provide that, even though we'll cancel the contract and have a few funds there, but that doesn't account for anything much. So we have to remember we need to replace them with something.
I understand that, Mr. Chairman, but there's also, the state of Tennessee doesn't require the county to have animal control. And most of the people out in the county do take care of stuff themselves. And so I would like to entertain looking at dropping that contract. When these commissioners put the SPCA in charge of that, they had no idea that they was going to take any of these that there should be 2 commissioners on that board for Insight. They had no idea that they would actually make a contract that, that we all agreed to that would eliminate the commissioners on there. And the way they wrote it out, it was pretty quick. Whoever wrote that out done a good job. But I don't think if any of us commissioners on this board would think it would be right for them to have a board without a commissioner being on it. There's none of the other ones. And that's all I got to say. I'm done.
Thank you. Commissioner Goins, please.
Fifth District's doing well. Nothing to report. Thank you.
Commissioner Slater.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The SPCA currently has 87 dogs that they're housing, and their capacity is 40. If you all remember, a few weeks ago, they went to that one call, and they took in 24 dogs from that one call. Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Blake asked me to add an item to the July 21st agenda in his absence. The fiscal year 2024-2025 budget included approval of a water project on Moore Circle Road. Our portion of the more than $25,000 project is $6,275. At the time of approval, only $2,940 was earmarked for this project. The passage of the new budget replenished the public water fund, and now that fund has sufficient funds. Therefore, I place on the July 21st voting session agenda a motion to appropriate an additional $3,335 from the public water fund to fully fund the county's portion of the Moore Circle Road water project. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Commissioner Ledford, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let's see, I just have one item. I hope everyone has looked at their emails on the EMS collections. I'm quite pleased with those guys out there. I just want to briefly tell you, January, they collected $341,704. February, $483,721. March, $400,892. April, $448,349. May, they collected $717,886. In June, they collected $644,643. I'm pleased with those guys. I tell you, they're doing a great job, and we need to encourage those guys. I mean, it's basically their collection people that done all that, but anyway, I just wanted to mention that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's all I have.
Thank you. We'll move along to the agenda items. Agenda item A, Commissioner Alford.
We've already placed that on the agenda,
All right.
Chairman.
Agenda item B, Commissioner Hughes.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner and Planning Commissioner, member Josh Rogers, couldn't be here today, so I wish to place the next 4 items on the July 21st, 2025 agenda. After I place them on the agenda, Planner Bentley Thomas is here to answer any questions you may have. So, with your permission, I'm just going to go one right after another.
That would be fine, as long as the people get a chance to talk. That's fine.
Item B is a resolution found on page 4 and 5, rezone Forestry Down Agricultural Residential District to General Industrial, which is I-1 District, property located at 3410 Benton Pike, identified by tax map 051 parcel 046.03. The planning commission voted to recommend approval.
Yeah, anyone want to speak on this one?
There's nobody here for it.
Benton Pike? Cool. Yeah. No, anybody have any questions? What was the vote on the planning commission?
I don't know.
It was unanimous.
Unanimous, okay.
I just know that. Item C is a resolution found on pages 6 and 7, rezone rural commercial C1 district, property located 87 South McDonald Road, identified by tax map 071. A portion of the parcel 179.102, and the planning commission is a resolution found on pages 8 and 9, rezone from forestry agricultural residential district residential mobile home park and the travel trailer park are property located at Waterloo Highway and identified by tax map 059 parcel 062.02.
It was unanimous
The vote was unanimous
to deny it.
to deny. Okay.
Item E is requested to close right-of-way located at 153 Kersey Road Northeast. You may find the documents on pages 10 and 12 of your packet. The planning commission also voted to recommend approving this request. With that, Mr. Chairman.
Anyone have any questions? Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak to for or against, or your views on any of the properties? Yes, sir.
I'm Michael Kinsey. We live on Sim Goodwin Road. The property on McDonald Road that you're requesting to rezone, our area is agricultural and family homes. And this property backs up to my property. And, we just want to keep that agricultural down there. Because we don't have anything against these people, but it's the change. We don't know what will come later. Once you change it from agriculture to industrial or, commercial. So we're just wanting to keep it all as it is.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Yes, sir.
John Sheehan. I am a friend of Nancy's, and I'm wanting to build her a home. And in order to have a home, she needs a new septic tank system. So that's the reason why we're wanting this road to be closed. So it's just a matter of she and her family owns property on both sides, so there's nobody else that's affected. It's simply a convenience so we can build her a house. That's all this closure is really all about.
Anyone have any questions?
Tom Collins was good with this too, so.
I'm sorry?
Tom Collins was good with this.
Okay. Yes, sir.
First of all, excuse me, some of you don't have your mics on. We can't understand you at all. And you need to speak up, okay? Please. I have to do with the business on McDonald. I have one question I was going to ask Mr. Tim Mason from the 6th District, who represents us, the question. But he didn't show up for some reason. The question I have is maybe they can answer it. What benefits does that bring to the people in McDonald to have their business in our community? What are the benefits that we get? I'm asking you. Since they don't know because they're, what are the benefits that the people of McDonald get?
You need to go ahead and finish.
That's the question I have, and we'd like to keep the community an agricultural community. We don't want commercial in there. Thank you.
You want to respond? Okay. Go ahead, sir.
Hey, I'm Jonah Tyree. We're the people requesting the rezoning on this location, 74 McDonald, South McDonald. All right. So this business was this location was previously owned by Gospel Ministries International, and they were a nonprofit, and so we were not aware of the zoning issues with this building when we bought it. And essentially, we are using it for the same purpose as they are. They had it for office spaces, and they would ship out of there, I believe, as well. And we're just trying to keep doing the same thing. When we spoke to Bentley over here, he said essentially we just need to go one level up on zoning. I think that's how I'd understand it. And we're not even requesting to rezone the whole property, just the building on it. So we can essentially keep it for the same purposes that we are currently doing. So I think that's all I have to say about that.
Anybody have any questions? Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. pre-existing building, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and there's pre-existing, I'm just thinking here for a moment. Okay, that's all but it is pre-existing, it's been
Yes, sir.
there.
The building's
and it was used.
pre-existing. We have no intentions to add anything onto it. We have improved the lot as far as we've mowed, we cleaned up, we burned some brush piles that the previous owners had left and pulled out some old sections of fences that had weeds growing over them, as well as we've improved the interior for our offices just to be able to
So
work out of
do
it.
you have a clue how long that previous business had, how long were they there, do you
I
know?
believe it was about 30 years.
30 years?
Yes, sir.
So they run,
Since '84 is what my partner just said.
so they done basically what y'all want to do. They brought stuff in there and stored it and shipped it out. Is that what
And
we're
they
saying?
had offices, and offices is the primary use of this. And as far as shipping goes, we just ship via,
So what I'm trying to understand is why was it not already zoned?
because the previous owners were a nonprofit.
Oh, no, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, that's all I have, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Anybody else?
It is.
Yes, sir.
When this building was built, it was built as a barn. And that's what we was told it was for a barn. And then they put this stuff in there. So when it was actually built, we didn't know what it was gonna be.
Question? Mr. Chairman, is it okay? So did y'all have a problem with that business that was in
No.
there?
No, we didn't know it was gonna be a business. It was just a barn.
It was just a barn, but they worked for like 30 years. Yeah, Mr. Chairman, is it okay?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out if y'all knew about those folks being there. No, for
I'm
30
Gerald.
years? Okay.
I'm Gerald Mullins. I've been there ever since that place was built. How did they get a license when nobody know nothing about it to ship what they're shipping, and y'all didn't say nothing to us then? Now, these people's bought it. Now y'all brought this out. How come it wasn't brought out when it was first started, 35 years ago?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
my understanding, what y'all just said, it's a nonprofit. Is that correct? Is that the reason why they didn't have to rezone or anything?
Because it's a
All right,
church.
I got another question. How did they sell them gospel tapes and them Bibles out there if it's non-profited? I mean, I've been there since it started. The man that started it sold Bibles out there, and they done gospel singing tapes out there. You can't tell me it was non-profitable unless they lied to y'all. Because I've been there, I know what they done, because they come down and tried to sell me Bibles, and they tried to sell me them tapes they made up there. I know what they done there. And it was a bunch of gypsies lived there. There's 10 or 12 people living in one house. You go down there now, there's 12 families living in one house. I mean, these boys have cleaned that place up, and it's decent. I'll give them credit for that. But what we've went through, rats, burning garbage, before they sold it to this boy, they had couches, recliners, mattresses that they drug out of their houses right down there next to my house going to burn them. And I went over and told him, I said, you can't burn that mess here in this field. He said, why can't I? I said, you can't burn that kind of stuff. He said, well, a dumpster's $225. Well, if he can't afford the dumpster, but he finally cleaned his mess up. They took it right over across from their building and burned it over in the yard. I mean, this has been a disaster since this people have had. But you still hadn't answered my question. How did they get licensed to sell them tapes and them Bibles?
Hold on a minute. Bentley, can you say to that?
Yeah, if it's affiliated with a church, it's exempt from zoning.
What's the difference of them selling what they're selling without I have no business license, and that church selling what they're selling without a business? Do you tell me that difference?
Because they're not a church.
Well, this people wasn't no church. You bet your book on that. They was no church people. Yeah, they had a scam going, like everybody else about this church business, but they was no church. Y'all know for a fact this church building, people?
It's my understanding.
Yeah, you just know. You just heard. You don't live there. I live there. I've lived for 40-something years right there beside that.
Sir, Commissioner Gilbert.
So let me ask you a question, friend. These boys have come in there and cleaned it up and made it really nice.
They
right?
have. They're nice. I sit out in my backyard and watch your kids play. I don't have no problem with that. But what's gonna happen when they leave there? I mean, what, you tell me what's gonna happen?
So what
You gonna tell me
happens,
ain't nothing gonna happen there?
so what happens if they sell it to somebody else and they put something else? in
That's
it
what
that
I'm
you didn't
saying. That's my question.
So,
I mean, it'd be me like me. If I, you know, what if I put a hog farm right up outside there next to their building? You know, that'd be dirty on me, you know? The only noise you hear around there is on the 4th of July when the neighbors shoot firecrackers.
well, do you think these guys will be a good neighbor?
They would, but I don't want that business there.
Okay.
You know, if they sell it, that's what I'm worried about, the future to come, you know?
Thank you.
And they have cleaned it up, I'll give them credit, and they're nice people, you know? I'd like to have them for neighbors, but I do not want that business. We're agriculture.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I have a comment. The ones that own the building, I mean, what's your intent? Do you intend on staying there or, and running this business? Okay. I mean, I'm not asking you for a number, but your intent, are you, you're gonna work on it, clean it up, and then sell it in 5 years?
No, sir. No, we've worked out of our living rooms and then our garage. We've been saving up for years for a place, and my parents live about 20 minutes from here. I just bought a house next to them, and
Okay.
we wanted a building we could grow this business out of and work here for the rest of our lives, you know, as long as.
So your intent is 10 years, like, you're a young man,
Yes, sir.
like, unlike me, I'm old man, we're getting older, but you intend on staying there for many, many years?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's all I have, thank you.
No concern is, whoever's over the road department needs to come down there and look at that road they've done on Sims Goodman Road. Part of it has not even been finished up to the level of where it needs to be. These people here at McKenzie, this lady right here, she lives there. And they've got the road built up so high that if you go off in the ditch, you're gonna turn your car over. They've got the asphalt up 10 or 12 a foot deep along the edge. Now the ditch is just right there, and 2 cars can't even. Now I seen y'all, they're over on Brock Road. They ain't enough room for 2 cars to pass on Brock Road. But whoever's over the road commission needs to come look at what the money they've wasted down there and look at that road they've repaved.
Mr. Chairman,
Who's over that?
He's not here today, sir. Yes, sir.
can we get that to the road committee?
We'll get it to the road
Yeah.
committee.
And another thing, while y'all all here, I've called that Tim Mason. You ain't seen the lack of garbage and stuff around Sims Goodman Road in all your life. I mean, all y'all here, you probably don't know that, and I've lived there all these years. It's just garbage, it's just a dump on Sims Goodman Road after you go over on next to the railroad side. And across there from y'all all know where Mineral Park used to be. They got that dumpster place there, and right down below it, there's just a garbage dump. I mean, it needs to be cleaned up for Bradley County. I mean, it's an eyesore when you come down. They get back to this building, you know, they're nice people, like I said, but I'm just worried what's gonna come in the future.
We have no way of predicting it, sir.
If you put a business down there, I know you ain't got no way to predict it. I mean, that's the reason you got these industrial parks for these businesses.
Anyone have any questions for the gentleman?
For me,
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
if need be, I can read back over these agenda items. Apparently, I had my mic too low for some of the audience to hear. Would you guys want me to read back over this so you can hear?
yeah, 'cause we couldn't
If
hear
you're-
half of what was
So
going
you
on.
are. All right. I will go back over this. Item B is a resolution found on pages 4 and 5 to rezone from forestry to agricultural residential district to general industrial district, property located at 3410 Benton Pike, identified by tax map 051, parcel 036.3. The planning commission voted to recommend approval. Item C is a resolution found on pages 6 and 7, resolution, or to rezone from forestry agricultural residential district to rural commercial district property located 87-4 South McDonald Road, identified in tax map 071, portion of parcel 079,
The planning commission voted to recommend. This is the one that you guys are talking about. Item D is a resolution found on pages 8 and 9 to rezone from forestry agricultural residential district to residential mobile home park and travel trailer park. District property located at water level highway and identified by tax map 059 parcel 062. The planning commission voted to deny the approval. Item E is a request to close right-of-way located on 153 Kersey Road Northeast. You may find documents on pages 10 and 12 of the packet. The planning commission also recommended to approve this. Did everybody hear it? Thank you, sir.
Go ahead, sir.
Mr. Bentley, so on the property they're talking about there is rural and commercial. What does that consist of?
It's not that much different from what it is right now, but it does allow some commercial uses.
So it's pretty much the same as it is now, but it allows for some
small, like office.
small
space.
business,
Yes.
small office. And one question I'd like to ask y'all. These young men are wanting to start a business, and I'm gonna go with however y'all say. I'm gonna vote with you. But I want you to picture, these boys has worked in their garage to make a business, and they're wanting to move where you're at, and they've cleaned your area up. And I'm sure they probably want you to be a part of their community. I'm sure they want you to drop by and see them, and go in and see what they're doing. Would y'all not want that? And be a part of your community, and give these guys a chance. Yes, sir. Well, it's laws.
We,
It's laws that we have no control of.
It was also before we had zoning. If it was 34 years ago, we didn't have zoning.
It was
till
before
99.
they had zoning 34 years ago that they had done that. I didn't know that either.
It was a church.
Well, these guys has cleaned it up and made it nice. They would be the ones I'd want here me. That's all I have to say. Okay.
All right, now let me, Chairperson, you've got 5 minutes. I should have said that on the front end. You're welcome to speak. Give your name, please, before you start.
I wanted to comment on that.
I can't hear you, ma'am.
I don't understand what you're saying.
They have 82 dogs in their care right now.
Okay. So you want to close them down because one of these people isn't on their board?
I'm not the one that's wanting to close them
That would be
down,
me.
ma'am.
That'd be you.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that?
I don't want to close them down, period. I don't think it's the county's obligation to give them money that the county don't know where they're spending it. We hand them over $240,000, $50,000 a year to do whatever they want to with. And they're not doing the job that the county commissioners had actually hired them to.
You can't call them
They
or
ain't really,
say, look, you got to.
No, ma'am, we can't call them. They don't answer our phone calls.
That's horrible. That is
They
a
don't
needed,
come to the county commission.
needed facility.
They don't meet in here no more.
I've been out there
We have
and
no way
left
to
my
get
telephone
contact.
number, and they never did call me. This is about a year or so ago.
That is.
They're unorganized out there. Like my good friend of mine, daughter took them kittens out there. She called them on Wednesday or Thursday, somewhere along there, and that director out there told them to bring them sometime after 12 o'clock on Saturday, and we'll take them. So she gets a check from her father and takes the kittens out there. They was gonna give them some money. I ain't gonna say the amount. Quite a bit of money, not like a couple of hundred. And they said they couldn't take the kittens, so she didn't leave the check with them. Sound like me, they got plenty of money out there, the SPPCA. They don't need money. I don't see that we even need part of our money. They want to run it, or sort of run it, if it's run right, I wouldn't have a problem keeping it at all. 'Cause I'm for taking care of the animals. I got a lot of animals in my place. I got dogs, I got cats, got donkeys, and got cattle at my place.
That really upset me when you're talking about the SPCA, because that's where we get our animals. But I do have a comment about the McDonald situation. Just because a person is nice doesn't mean that that doesn't affect our property taxes or our property values or the traffic. Has nothing to do with if a person is nice or not. And from what I understood at the last meeting, yes, they're running that business, but it's part of a corporation.
There's,
Yours
ma'am,
totally. Well, I misunderstood that then. So my question is,
what
how
is,
many employees work there? 5 employees. And we have roads that we need to worry about. We have traffic that we need to worry about. I'm concerned about it changing that whole area. I don't know if you've been out there. It's rural, it's farm, it's beautiful, it's cows, it's horses, it's greenery, it's environmentally where it should be. Putting a business into that is a slap in the face. Can you imagine living in your neighborhood and 2 houses or 1 house over a commercial building goes in? Would you like that? Would you like 5 cars going in and out, mail delivery in and out? Would you like that? We don't like it. It has nothing to do with, are they nice people? That hasn't even entered in. It enters into our values and our changes of where we live. And so easy for people to say, oh yeah, it's approved, when it doesn't even affect you. It affects us. I said last meeting, I'll say it again. I was so disappointed to see Hamilton County's lack of concern for residents, more concern for progress and money and what it's going to do for them than what it's doing for the residents who live there. So thankful that we lived in Bradley. And here Bradley is following the same line of attack. It means a lot to us because we're not young, but we had it with California. And at our age, knowing no one in this area, having no family, no friends, we picked up and moved specifically to Bradley in McDonald to get away from that. And this is what we find. You have no idea how upsetting this is to a person our age, giving everything up that we had to come here to find the same thing. Just because a person's nice doesn't mean it's not going to affect us.
thank you very much. Anyone else? Commissioner Ledford, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Sir, if I may, you mentioned that you talked to me, but you meant Tim, right? Mr. May. Tim is over there. Okay, I just want to clarify and make sure. Okay. I'm going to defend him for just a minute. He's my partner. He's got all of Bradley County. Understand this. All of Bradley County, the whole north end, everything. Tim works diligently. I know. I talk to the guy every week, at least twice, 3, 4 times a week. He'll bring situations, issues comes up. We discuss those issues, whether it be a part of the environmental or whether it be a part of our district as a whole that's not even got nothing to do with environmental. He helps me with those issues too. We both work together in our district, whether it be whatever, somebody's chicken's crowing or whatever. You know, he's got all kinds of things. But I want to just make sure that everybody understands Tim Mason, my partner, has done a fabulous job in what he does. I know that, you know, he don't answer every single person's phone call. But now, he can't always have the solution that you want. I mean, he just can't. I mean, because I've had issues with certain people on certain items, zoning issues, whatever, and we can't, you know, give everybody the answer they want. I mean, it's just the way it is. Right. Well, that would be your Tim. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yes, sir.
Is that,
Right.
are you,
Mr., I just,
are
I
you
need
through?
help on answering that because I don't have a clue.
Okay, are you finished?
I'm finished, yes, sir. I mean, are y'all finished with me? Okay. Okay, I just want to make sure I clarify on him. So we're good
Thank you.
on that part of it.
There
Thank
being
you.
no one else that would like to speak, we'll move along to the next meeting. Will be the voting session Monday, July the 21st at 12 p.m. here in the commission room. Upcoming events, landfill public meeting tonight at 6 p.m. Tri-State Exhibition Center. Louis Alford will be in the expo room, located in the Louis Alford Expo Room. Farmers on First, July the 20th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., First Street Square. Planning Commission, July the 23rd at noon here in the courthouse. We are adjourned.